Fieldhouse in Madison. You the 63rd annual WIAA State Boys Basketball Championships. This sports exclusive is brought to you by your Wisconsin bankers. Your money does more, working through a full-service bank. The rural companies, ensuring the good life all over Wisconsin. The American Dairy Association of Wisconsin, the voice of the dairy farmer at the marketplace. Your local bottlers of Coca-Cola. Coke adds life.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Shapiro in WIAA Sports Center in Madison, and we're happy to have you with us for the second day of our total coverage of the 13-game WIAA State Tournament, the 63rd annual tournament from the University of Wisconsin Fieldhouse. Things got off to a real bang yesterday. 5 games were played. There weren't really any surprises, but here's a look at how they turned out. We got underway yesterday morning at this time in a Class C semifinal game. Partyville beating Fall Creek by a score of 58-53. 4 Class A games, all quarterfinals took place. Beloit Memorial knocked off Madison West 77-64, and Wisconsin Rapids beat Brookfield Central 66-53. Last night, Clintonville surprised Racine Case 68-55, and Neenah edged Homestead on a free throw with 5 seconds remaining, 66-65. Well, we've got more exciting action today. 5 games on tap, all semifinals. In Class C, Colfax against Coleman. This afternoon, Elkhorn takes on Wisconsin Dells in the first Class B semi. After that, it's a Class A semi, Beloit Memorial and Wisconsin Rapids. Tonight at 7, Park Falls and Winneconne go at it in Class B, and the final game, Clintonville-Neenah in Class A. The first game you're going to see this afternoon, Coleman and Colfax, 2 powers from northern Wisconsin, for a berth in the finals in Class C. Your broadcast team this morning for the start of our action will be Ken Syke, WKOW-TV in Madison, providing the expert commentary again, the sports director of WXOW-TV in La Crosse, Chuck Nagel. And we'll be back with a play-by-play and the starting lineups of today's first game right after we pause for these messages on your WIAA network station.
There really is a town in Wisconsin named Rural. It's just south of Mecca. Life is good in rural, and like many villages in Wisconsin, people trust their good life to the rural companies. Protection for your vehicles, business, health, and family. With over 200 agents in Wisconsin ready to serve you. Get to know your rural agent.
Oh, I'd like to get to know ya, have a chance to show ya, round for just a while. Take you to places, meet some brand new faces, share a Coke and make you smile. Coca-Cola, Coke adds life, but when you see in the town, it's really nice to get to know ya, have a Coke and show ya, round for just a while. Coca-Cola adds life, and everybody wants it.
From the University of Wisconsin Fieldhouse, this is Ken Syke along with Chuck Nagel. We're getting ready for a Class C semifinal battle between the Cougars of Coleman with a 20-3 record and the Vikings of Colfax High School with a 21-2 mark. Now, the starting lineups. First of all, for the Colfax Vikings, coached by Dick Diener. Number 35, Mark Loftus, a 5'11 senior, and for Coleman, number 42, Bill Rushlow, a 6-foot senior. Bob Fear, number 33, a 5'11 senior, and Wunderlich, number 32 for Coleman. You'll see some changes on the numbers. We just had a change for Colfax numbers. They are all odd numbers. For Colfax, their center, only 5'11", a senior, 25, Greg Dobbs, going against 6'3" senior John Medke from Coleman. Number 21, Jay Miller of Colfax, a 5'10" junior. And for Coleman, Brian Hettinga, a 6'1" senior. And in the guard court for Colfax, Steve Obermiller, a 6-foot senior. And for the Coleman Cougars, a 6-foot senior, Gary Wondrich. The coach of Colfax is Dick Diener in his 5th year there, and Mark Tate in his very first year as the coach of the Coleman Cougars. Chuck Nagel, what kind of a game are you looking for this morning?
Interesting game, interesting matchup, Ken. We've got one team with a definite height advantage, the other team very quick, very good on defense. We're going to see a lot of full court pressure. We're going to see, I think, one team, Coleman, go underneath. They're going to take a height advantage and use that opportunity. Both coaches say their teams are ready. Both teams are peaking for this tournament. Should be a good ball game.
The officials for this Class C semifinal game, Phil Hardacre from Whitefish Bay and Jack Coughlin from Greendale. Colfax in the red, the dark uniforms, and Coleman in the white uniforms with the stripes on the side. And Coleman, we should say, on the St. Patrick's Day, school colors, Kelly, green, and white. So we'll have to see if that's a good luck omen as we continue with this Class C semifinal game just underway. Coleman with possession of the ball. Outside, it's Hettinga. He misses, though, and it's pulled down by Fear. And Colfax will set up their offense as Coleman sets up now in a 2-1-2 zone defense. There's a steal. This is Wondrash going all the way and scoring. Gary Wondrash, averaging 11.8 points a game, puts Coleman on the board 2-0. Loftus from the side, no good. Pulled down quickly by Coleman. And they'll bring the ball into the forecourt. The Coleman Cougars, they only tied for second in the Marinette-O'Connell Conference. They've a 9-game win streak right now. Really kind of an unsung team. They upset Abbotsford in the Wausau West sectional 60-54 to get to this state tournament. They have the ball right now. This is Wondrash driving the baseline. Rebound pulled down by Mark Loftus, and he's fouled by Carl Wunderlich. Common foul. Colfax will inbound the ball in the backcourt.
Interesting to note, Ken, even though Coleman, or I should say Colfax, has the smaller team, they rebound very well for a small team.
Chuck, actually both teams are very small in this Class C semifinal game. Colfax, who has the ball right now, their tallest starter is 6 foot, which is very small indeed. Inside to Loftus, he can't get the shot to fall though, and Coleman gets possession on the defensive rebound. Coleman is not that much taller. They go 6 foot, 6'2", and 6'3", and 6'1" and 6 foot in the backcourt. So the tallest man on the court is 6'3", and that's the man who just shot Carl Wunderlich, but he missed the shot, and we'll have a jump ball.
You know you're small, Ken, when you've got your center goes 5'11". You know you're in trouble.
That's the situation for Colfax. This is Bob Fear jumping against Coleman, and we're going to have a foul called on Steve Obermiller.
Steve Obermiller, you'll see on the screen, going for the ball. The tip controlled by Colfax. Obermiller with the shoving foul. First foul, personal-wise, first team foul.
Coleman with the ball. This is Wondrash with it. Over to Wunderlich on the right side. Inside to Medke. And I think we're going to have a traveling violation. John Medke, 6'3" senior, shuffled his feet. And it's still a 2-0 game with exactly 6 minutes left in the first quarter. Both teams rather high-powered offensively. Colfax coming in averaging 73.1 points a game. That is the tops among the 4 teams in the Class C field. And Coleman averaging 61 points. As Colfax cannot maintain possession, their second turnover. And Coleman will get the ball. And again, a rather slow start to the game here, Chuck.
It is. I think both teams, you know, they have not been down here, very inexperienced state-wise, and trying to feel each other out. But I think we'll heat up as the game goes on.
This is one of the great things about this Class C tournament. It gives schools and teams a chance who have very seldom been to the state tournament, as we see a shot not go in, but tapped in nicely by Hettinga. It was Rushlow on the miss, but Hettinga had good offensive position, and it's 4-0 Coleman. But Coleman, the team on defense right now, it's their first time to the state tournament, as Colfax cannot get a shot to fall. Rebound fought for and picked up by Hettinga. But check that, that's Wondrash. 4-0, Coleman with a 4-point lead. Rushlaw drives the lane and scores.
All one-on-one moves right there. Ken got the ball, dropped that foot, got the step on the defensive player. Very good one-on-one move.
Colfax yet to score. We're more than 3 minutes into the first quarter here. It's a 6-0 game. Miller from way outside. He hits. Hoffman House Restaurant, where everything's altogether enjoyable. 6-2, Coleman with the ball and a 4-point lead. Colfax in the aggressive man-to-man defense. This is the thing that Coach Dick Diener said they've been staying in all year. Playing an aggressive man-to-man defense and just doing a good job with it, although so far they've been a little loose on the defensive play. If the ball is tipped out of bounds by Coleman, Colfax will get the ball. Amazing that Colfax, again, the small team, playing that man-to-man defense.
Very aggressive man-to-man defense, Ken, and I think they, according to Coach, Diener, will stay in that man-to-man most of the ball game.
Coleman in the zone defense. It's Colfax trying to work it inside. This is Obermiller driving and shooting. No good. Rebound nicely by Loftus, but he goes up and he's fouled.
John Metke with the foul off. Just nice offensive rebound. And again, Ken, he's there. 5'11" center. Good rebounder.
Checking into the game now for Coleman, number 30, Greg Gehring, a 6'2 senior, averaging 9.1 points a game for Coleman as Colfax inbounds the ball. And it's knocked out of bounds by Wondrach. Colfax setting up the offense, 6-2, with 3:45 remaining first period. They're being patient against that Coleman zone. '21 is Miller. He fires again. Fight for the rebound as 5 players went up for it, and Dobbs gets the basket. Nice offensive rebound by 5'11" senior Greg Dobbs, and it's 6-4 Coleman. Wondrach from outside, no good. We're gonna have a foul on the rebound, called on Metke. His first personal. Just the 3rd team foul on Coleman. So Colfax will inbound the ball. And we'll have a timeout. We'll be back with more basketball action right after these words from our sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
Being a crop duster, I get to see what's happening down on the farms. Frankly, I'm impressed by the crops and livestock, the modern buildings, and I don't know where they get the money for all that equipment. Bet they depend a lot on their bank. So do I. In fact, the bank helped me buy this plane.
Your money working through your full-service bank helps provide the loans your neighbors need. Together, you and your bank keep the agricultural community strong.
You and your bank are doing more than you know.
To some people, a cheese is a cheese is a cheese. Oh, they like Swiss and cheddar all right, but somehow just never quite get around to trying the many other colorful, tasty varieties available today. Wisconsin cheese comes in so many unique textures and flavors, it'd be a real shame not to try more than just 1 or 2. So next time you bring home the cheese, bring home a variety. From mild to wild, there's a cheese to please everyone's palate from Wisconsin.
There you see it. Coleman with a 2-point lead with 3:12 remaining in the first period. And Colfax, the Vikings, with possession of the ball. Loftus from the left side can't get it to fall, and heading clears the backboard, and now Coleman with a 2-point lead can enlarge that to 4. This is Gehring driving, but he loses the ball. Knocked out of bounds, and Colfax will get possession. Coleman and Colfax, they sound so very similar, Chuck. Coleman is 40 miles north of Green Bay in the east central part of the state, and Colfax is 24 miles northwest of Eau Claire, so they're really on opposite parts of the state. As Miller drives the lane, can't get it, and he gets his own rebound. Fear to Loftus. Back again, and he'll shoot. Off the front of the rim, and Coleman gets the rebound. Cougars of Coleman with a 20-3 record. And now I see Colfax has switched into a zone, Chuck.
Coleman has not been known to be great outside shooters, and I think that's the reason Colfax in the zone defense. They're good outside shooters. I shouldn't say they're bad, but they have not been consistently good from the outside. Colfax obviously knows that.
Headinga from outside. Look at the jump there. Couldn't control the rebound, but it's picked up by Rushlow, and he scores. Bill Rushlow. It's his 4th point, and it's 8-4 Coleman. Fear trying to drive, but he's whistled for the traveling violation.
You mentioned before, Ken, the route both these teams took to get here, and Coleman was not really expected to get here. Abbotsford undefeated in the sectional final. Coleman upset them in a great ball game, and they do deserve to be in this semifinal game.
Very interesting story on Coleman as we see Wondrash fire from outside and hit. Gary Wondrash, but the Cougars of Coleman really underrated coming in. No doubt that Mark Tate, the coach of Coleman, says that Abbotsford, he thought that they were looking past Coleman because they'd been had a couple of losses coming in. They'd had some coaching changes in their program last year. As we have a charging foul called against number 35, Mark Loftus, trying to drive the baseline.
He does drive the baseline. Good defensive effort by Coleman. It's his Mark Loftus' first personal foul.
Continuing on with that Coleman situation as we have a timeout right here. Mark Tate, the coach of Coleman, in his first year as the head coach. He was the JV coach last year and the freshman coach the year before, but there were many coaching changes and realistically a program that wasn't too stable. But he came in and he says before the tournament that you have to give a lot of credit to the kids. Even though there was some instability in the program, the kids, the Coleman team themselves, strongly a group of seniors were the ones that pulled together and have developed down the tournament trail here.
We asked Mark on Wednesday when the teams are practicing, what do you feel your greatest accomplishment is? My kids have pulled together. We've had some problems, and they pulled together. When they won that sectional final, they realized now we're in the state tournament. They're playing their best ball of the year right now. We've done it without a few players from previous years. He said they all stick together. They're a great bunch of guys on and off the floor, and that's their greatest, I guess you could say, strength. Their overall balance, and they're all great friends. They play very well together. Here you see a good picture of Mark Tate, excuse me, Ken, in your screen. He was out here Wednesday. His team had a half an hour to practice, and as we were commenting before, he was out there practicing and shooting around with his kids, almost like one of them. A great thing to see.
He really gives credit to the Cougars for getting the team here, and this is despite the fact that 2 starters from last year's team quit the team. So they're playing without 2 starters from last year, and they're in the state tournament. Truly an amazing story for Coleman with the ball and a 6-point lead now with 54 seconds remaining in the first period. Medke is going to be charged for the offensive foul away from the ball. That is his 2nd personal foul. And the team's 4th. So John Medke, number 40 for Coleman, will have to be a little bit more careful now. The 6'3 senior, he averages 11.5 points a game as Colfax goes into the offense now. Fear over to Loftus in the corner. Out to Miller, and he'll fire. Rebound pulled down by Coleman.
130 seconds, Ken. You may see Coleman go for the last shot. They're up by 6. They'd like to go up by 8 as second quarter period starts.
Wondrash is motioning to one of his defensive mates. 10 seconds to go now as Colfax gets it on the turnover. Let's see if they're aware of the clock. Fear looks up there and does see it. They're going to have to hurry. There's 4 seconds, and Fear fires from way out. No good. Rebound to Loftus, and that's the end of the period. Coleman leads 10-4. Don't go away. We'll be back right after these words from our sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
Apples. 42 varieties are grown here in Gaze Mills. Bill and Marlene Meyer work 16 hours a day during the growing season, producing 40,000 bushels at their Kickapoo orchards. It's a good life, and Bill Meyer relies on the rural companies to protect it. As you enjoy your good life, shouldn't you protect it? Call your rural agent.
He's the special man with the rural companies. The things we do are for you.
There are sweet drinks, there are tart drinks, there are soft drinks by the score. Fizzy, whizzy, tutti frutti, things that you can pour. But when it comes to goodness, summer, winter, spring, or fall, drink milk, the softest soft drink of all. Drink milk, drink milk, drink milk, drink milk, drink milk, drink milk.
Coleman with a 10-4 lead as we're back here at the University of Wisconsin Fieldhouse with this Class C semifinal game. The winner of this game goes against Hardyville, defeated Fall Creek 58-53 yesterday. We're set to go again. Neither team really getting off to a very fast start, and I really look for the pace to pick up here in the second quarter, Chuck, as we're going to have a re-jump. Colfax just shot 17% on 2 of 12 from the field, while Coleman a little bit better, 5 of 12 from the field for 42%. Neither team has gone to the free throw line as we'll jump it up again. Both Medke and Dobbs are, this is Loftus jumping. This is getting rather comical now, Chuck.
People don't realize one of the hardest things to do in a game of basketball is throw that ball straight up in the air when you get two big men jumping.
Oh, traveling violation that time on Wondrich. He looked like he might have had the foul on Obermiller, but he traveled before the foul. And Colfax now with a chance to cut the lead to 4 points. Miller drives between two and gets it to fall. And he's going to be charged for the charging foul.
Be the offensive foul on Miller. The basket will count, I believe, though, Ken. It'll be Coleman's ball out of bounds. Basket does count.
Good possession that time by number 30, Greg Gehring of Coleman. So it's 10-6. And Miller commits his first personal foul as Colfax now in a full court pressure defense. The side of the backboard picked up by Colfax. They're going to break it, but it's a 3-on-3 as the ball is tipped, and Colfax will maintain possession.
Both teams still a little, you know, the feeling out period, and Mark Tate told us that his team has played in some gyms that were, you know, small, and this is a big floor for these kids, and that may have an effect so far.
Mark Loftus gets the rebound and gets the basket, and it's 10-8 Coleman. As Colfax has now scored 4 straight, and there's a turnover. Colfax will get the ball. Mark Loftus got that last basket, a 5'11 senior, averaging more than 18 points a game. Chuck, he's got a 36-inch vertical jump. We can watch for him to really leap this afternoon. Colfax with a chance now to tie up the game. Fear will take that shot. But the rebound cleared by Rushlow. Coleman with the ball now. They've had a 9-game win streak since the middle of the season was their last loss. The shot doesn't go for Gehring. Will of a jump ball.
Another thing, Ken, we've got those square glass backboards, you know, and a lot of different things down here in this state tournament you don't normally get in a lot of gyms and in places around the state. And as you mentioned, the pace should pick up, but right now still that little hesitation on some of these kids whether to shoot or pass the ball.
I think the fact that Colfax is in the zone defense has tended to slow down the game too there. As the rebound fought for by Medke. Nice play that time as John Medke took the shot. Got his own rebound, as we'll see right here. Was fouled by Mark Loftus. And Medke will get a chance to convert on a 3-point play.
Great individual work right there by Medke. He had 2 shots at the basket, went up, got both rebounds, and now a chance to put Coleman up by a 13-8 count.
Checking into the lineup now for Colfax, number 45, Mike Keycaper. And checking out is Bob Fear. Mike Kiekefer, a 6'1 sophomore. This Colfax team is very balanced. 4 seniors, 4 juniors, and 4 sophomores on the team. As we have a steal by Gehring, operating against Miller. He loses the ball, though. Picked up by Wondresh. And the foul is committed by Loftus. And the basket counts.
Chance for their second three-point play in the last 30 seconds. Nice job. Mark Loftus with a foul. That's Mark's third foul now, so Colfax will lose their starting center.
Mark Loftus goes to the bench as Bob Fear checks back in. He was only out for a few seconds. Loftus, averaging more than 18 points a game, now has 3 personal fouls. He's really a main cog in a well-balanced Colfax team, but let's see how they react without their star now. As they're down now, 16-8. Obermiller fires from way outside. And the rebound pulled down by Rushlow as Coleman breaks. This is Wondrich.
Here we see the momentum now, Ken. A slow down pace game. We're going to see a timeout by Colfax. Good timeout by Coach Dick Diener.
Coleman with a 10-point lead, 18-8. Stay tuned to more exciting WIAA basketball right after these messages. This is your WIAA network station.
Start the ball rolling at your full-service bank. A checking account pays off in convenience. And when you need for a vacation or an education, a full-service bank loan rings the bell. You can count on the security of a savings account. Full-service bank loans help local business, and banks buy municipal bonds that build parks and schools. It all adds up to a big payoff for you and your community. Only your full-service bank does so much. Together, you and your bank are doing more than you know.
You're ready when your son leaves for that office job in town. When you know he'd rather farm. When you feel you've let him down. One lonely day like this one, it's gonna get to you. Harvest Store, you're ready for a Harvest Store.
Yes, you're ready for a Harvest Store system. See your dealer right away.
Well, the Coleman Cougars with a 10-point lead. On St. Patrick's Day, their school colors, Kelly green and white. So it looks like the luck of the Irish, at least in the first part of this game, Chuck, has been with the Cougars.
Interesting to note there, Ken, when Mark Loftus left the ball game, here's a 5'11 center going out. A substitute comes in, he's about 6'3". Interesting.
He's the one with the ball right now. That's Mike Kiekefer, just a sophomore. As Coleman makes the steal, and that's going to be called a turnover against Coleman. It's called a violation as the official right in front of us, Phil Hardacre from Whitefish Bay. I guess you're just not allowed to do that in high school basketball, swing the elbows like that. That's counted as a turnover, not a personal foul.
You can't do that, Ken, in college either, and I think it's more of an injury standpoint. You don't want anybody getting hurt with an elbow.
Kiekefer has the shot blocked and takes a second shot, but can't get that one to fall. As Colfax a little unsteady right now after they had scored 4 straight points to cut into the Coleman lead. They were just down by 2 just a few seconds ago. But they've lost one of their key players. Mark Loftus is on the bench with 3 personal fouls. And Coleman now can get up to a 12-point lead. Medkey from way outside. No good. The rebound pulled down by Fear. As Colfax gets to the run now, this is Miller driving. Going all the way. Ooh, in and out. And the rebound to Wondrich. Wondrich will be charged with the personal foul.
Be an offensive foul on Gary Wondrich. He gets the ball out, gets it out nicely, but takes the one dribble maybe he shouldn't have taken. Offensive foul, it's his first, and it's the 5th team foul. So both teams now, Ken, will be in a bonus situation from here on out.
Coleman has scored 8 straight points. Obermiller, good position. It was a little bit too tight to the backboard, and Coleman gets possession. The Cougars of Coleman with a 10-point lead, 18-8, with 4:31 remaining, second quarter. Hettinger from outside. Rebound fought for and pulled down by Dobbs. As now Colfax will try to set up the break. It's a 2-on-3. Miller operating in the lane. Nice move. Can't get the shot to fall. Tipped out, and Colfax will maintain possession. Kiekefer, the sophomore, to Obermiller. He's open. He's thinking about that shot, and he takes it. and Medke clears the boards. One shot pretty much for Colfax is all they're getting.
It's been the key right now, right?
The height difference is showing right here as Fear picks up the ball. He's going against Wondrich and tipped out of bounds nicely by Bill Rushlow. Bill Rushlow, number 42, one of the tri-captains for Coleman. He's quite an athlete. He holds the state record in Class C for the 330-yard low hurdles. Bill Rushlow, number 42 for Coleman. As Gary Wondrich is fouled for the defensive foul. And that will send Mike Kiekefer to the free throw line to shoot a 1-and-1. Colfax can make up some valuable ground here if they can convert on this bonus situation. He misses the first. Dodd gets it outside to Fear. And Colfax will set up again. Coleman staying in that 2-1-2 zone defense. Miller from way outside. It's no good. Rebound fought for, out of bounds. It'll go to Coleman. Chuck, Colfax just isn't penetrating that Coleman zone.
No, they're not, and they're taking good shots, just not dropping right now. Once they get hot and start making some of those shots, we're going to see a good ball game. They are getting the shots, they're just not falling.
Medke can't get it to fall. And we'll have a reaching over foul on Greg Gehring.
Probably, Ken, the foul we see the most in these ball games. You see Mark Tate from Coleman, the reaching over foul, where a person just does not have a good position and he reaches over the back. Very common, something coaches, don't like to see it. Colfax 2 out of 12 from the floor this quarter, and they're a better shooting ball club than that.
Mike Kiekefer converts on the first free throw. Can't get the second one, though, and it's an 18-9 game with 3 minutes remaining. Second period. As now Colfax goes back into the man-to-man defense. I think Coach Dick Diener is trying to pick up the pace of his team as Wondrich drives the lane nicely off Miller and gets it to fall. Gary Wondrich now has 11 points out of the 20 for Coleman, and it's an 11-point lead. Obermiller from outside. There you go.
They start popping that one in, we're going to get a good ball game. They're too good a team to stay cold.
Colfax staying in the full court pressure defense. Now they fall back into the man-to-man. And we're going to have a blocking. Oh no, a charging foul on Rushlow.
Charging foul, gets the ball, goes one-on-one. Both players make the contact. Rushlow charged with the foul. Can it be a bone? No, it'll be an offensive foul. So ball out of bounds. Rushlow's first personal foul.
Good position that time by Bob Fear. Colfax, nice steal that time by Wondrich. He's going against Miller. He'll go all the way and gets it. 13 points for Gary Wondrich. His average is only 11.8, so he's already over his average. Colfax, the Cougars, can't afford those kind of turnovers. Wondrich commits the foul. And the basket will count by Fear. As checking into the game right now for Coleman, number 22, Mike Babcock, a 5'10 senior. And going to the free throw line for Colfax is Bob Fear, a 70% shooter from the free throw line. The foul that time committed by Wondrich. He's got 3 personal fouls, but he's hit 5 in a row from the field. So Gary Wondrich doing a good job in getting Coleman their lead right now as Coleman breaks the press. Headinga.
Nice pass. That's the way to break the press. The middleman stays at the top of the free throw circle, makes the bounce pass. Nice job. Well coached.
Almost a steal by Coleman that time. Out to Obermiller. To Kiekefer. Gehring.
2 strong plays.
And it's 26-14 with 1:02 left, period number 2. Obermiller. There you go. So far, Coleman has been rather successful in breaking the of Colfax. Obermiller almost gets the steal, but it's knocked out of bounds. You know, it's not like Colfax has gone against taller teams before. They've done it all year long. In fact, to get here, they beat Bayfield 73-66, and Bayfield had a front line of 6'6", 6'4", and 6'3". And Colfax beat them with their tallest starter going at 6 foot.
And scored 73 points doing it. So they, you're right. They've played against bigger teams, obviously, all year long. They're a very aggressive team.
There's really a bad foul that time by Jay Miller, just reaching in. Dick Diener hates to see from the bench.
Bonus situation also, Ken. So right now, Colfax is down by 10. And at this point of the game, you cannot give the other team 2 free throws. Again, it's a kind of a hustle foul, a reach-in foul, not a good one, but he went for the ball.
Mike Babcock, who just checked into the game, makes the first. 5'10" senior, averaging just 2.2 a game. Gets the second. 28-16 with 31 seconds left in period number 2. Coleman with a 12-point lead. It is the biggest lead of the game for Coleman. Miller. 28-18. Miller now has 6. Coleman has to hurry to get it across, and it's picked off by Dobbs. 10 seconds to go in the second period. Beer from way outside. It's good. 4 seconds. Coleman having a little bit of trouble now with the press. And there's the half. Colfax with 2 baskets. They're not out of this game yet. 28-20. Coleman leads it. We'll be back with more right after these words from our sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
Someone's playing a guitar on the rooftop, and being up here with you girls out of sight. The city sounds are humming, and coke has life to a guitar strumming, 'cause coke has life and everybody wants a little life. I'm glad that I'm a city boy tonight. Coke has life and everybody wants a little life.
Don't just dream of owning your own motorhome. Make your dream a reality with the fabulous new Cruise Air from Georgie Boy. Dollar for dollar, you can't buy a better motorhome with features designed for comfort and safety while you travel, and fun and convenience when you've arrived, all at a price you can afford. A Cruise Air motorhome is truly the possible dream.
Your way-to-go dealer, KOA Trailer Sales, Highway 25 and 994 in Menominee.
RV, it's the way to go.
Coleman with a 28-20 lead as Colfax, after being down by 12 points, the biggest deficit of the game, scored 4 straight. And Chuck, the impression I get, even though Colfax has their star Mark Loftus on the bench, the game is not over.
Not by a long shot. We've got 60 minutes to go. I think we'll see some coaching changes, Ken, at half. We mentioned we may see Colfax going to a zone defense. They may, to stop the inside game. It's funny we talk about inside games with 2 small teams, but they do go inside pretty well. We've had some good matchups. And I think Gary Wonders now with 3 fouls makes a difference. He was on the bench, luckily for Coleman, just with a minute to go in the second quarter. But if he can come out and stay away from that 4th foul, they're going to be in good shape. They've got a 28-20 lead. Colfax is going to come back. They're too good a ball club. They start shooting well. It's going to be a good ball game.
28-20 is the score. Coleman with an 8-point lead. We'll be back with more halftime activities right after this on your WIAA network station.
Hey fans, when it comes to your roofing problems, why take chances on a long shot? Score every time with a call to Local Roofing Company of Eau Claire. The coaches at Local taught their teams well, And all through the area 300 miles around Eau Claire, you'll see evidence of their championship quality on jobs like Amory High School, Fall Creek High School, and the addition to Chippewa High School. Remember, you'll never foul out when you go with a winner like Local Roofing Company of Eau Claire.
Cottage cheese has appetite appeal. You can use it in countless different ways with little effort and no waste. And it goes with just about everything. One of the most popular ways of eating cottage cheese is in combination with fruit, like this appealing cottage cheese mold. And for those who are calorie conscious, the nice thing about cottage cheese is that it's low in calories and high in nutrients. Your American Dairy Association of Wisconsin reminds you to use cottage cheese often for greater flavor and variety in your meals.
Party tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock in the Class C championship game. Last fall's WIAA Class C football championship turned out to be a classic battle between two undefeated teams. Osseo Fairchild 11-0, Stanley Boyd 11-0. Both teams featured high-powered offenses. Both teams had great defenses. Osseo Fairchild, you'll see them in a moment. They'll be in the dark jerseys. Stanley Boyd in the white jerseys. Here's how it happened.
Eau Claire's Carson Park was the site of the 1977 WIAA Class C High School Football Championship. The game featured the state's top two Class C teams, unbeaten Osseo Fairchild and unbeaten Stanley Boyd. Quarter action, Stanley Boyd quarterback passes to halfback Jim Simon, who's tackled out of bounds at the Osseo Fairchild 10-yard line. On 3rd and 13, Erickson drops back to pass, but is thrown for a big loss by Osseo Fairchild defensive star Wayne Brevick. On 4th down, Erickson is again rushed hard by Brevick and is intercepted by Sean Mulhern at the 23-yard line. The Osseo Fairchild defense has held, and the first quarter ends 0-0. Quarter action now. Stanley Boyd halfback Greg Mitchell breaks loose for a 31-yard touchdown run, but a clipping penalty at the 5-yard line nullifies the 6 points. It's Osseo Fairchild on the attack now. Quarterback Van Vredenberg fakes the handoff, rolls right, and connects on a 37-yard bomb to end Sean Mulhern. This play is later called by Coach Dwayne Motti the turning point in the game. On a 4th and 1 situation, Joel Soley takes a quick pitch and scampers 14 yards for a touchdown, capping a drive which covers 65 yards in 7 plays. Mark Rogness adds the extra point, and the Osseo Fairchild crowd responds as their team takes the lead 7-0. The Chieftains kick off following that first score. Stanley Boyd's Roger Hagenson on a reverse hands off to Jim Simon, and he races down the sidelines on a brilliant 48-yard return. Simon later takes a pitch out from quarterback Jeff Erickson and is run out of bounds as the first half comes to an end. The Osseo Fairchild crowd likes what they've seen so far. The Chieftains lead Stanley Boyd at the intermission 7-0. Either team could score in the third quarter. It's fourth quarter action now, and Osseo Fairchild's Joel Soley runs for a first down. The Osseo Fairchild offensive line opens up a huge hole for Soley, and it's another first down for Osseo Fairchild. This time it's Soley off right tackle to the Stanley Boyd 23-yard line. It's Soley again on a counter play to the 15-yard line. The Chieftains reverse strategy and go to a different ball carrier this time. Mark Rogness, he fumbles inside the 8-yard line, stopping what looked like an apparent Osseo Fairchild touchdown drive. Stanley Boyd goes on the attack now, but quarterback Jeff Erickson fumbles on his own 7-yard line, and it's recovered by Osseo Fairchild's Gordy Hong. The Chieftains capitalize on the turnover as All-State halfback Mark Rogness scores 2 plays later. Rogness adds the extra point kick, making the score 14-0. Stanley Boyd attempts a comeback using the shotgun formation, but Erickson is intercepted by Rognus, who returns the ball to the 11-yard line. Runs out, and Osseo Fairchild becomes the WIAA Class C champion. It's been a great day for Osseo Fairchild, the crowd, and for coach Dwayne Motti. The final score, Osseo Fairchild 14, Stanley Boyd nothing. This is Chuck Nagel for Wisconsin TV Network Sports.
That was a great moment last fall, and now we're going to think basketball again. We're going to go back to the field house and Ken Syke and Chuck Nagel for the second half of this Class C semifinal game between Coleman and Colfax right after we pause for these messages on your WIAA network station.
Put a little spice in your life. Start saving at American National Bank of Eau Claire. Spice comes from Morningware's favorite Spice Alive collection, with nature-flavored colors to coordinate with your kitchen. Available free or at a low cost with a qualifying deposit to a new or existing passbook savings, golden savings, or certificate of deposit. Get your Spice Alive from American National Bank, Barstow Commons, Halley, Washington, and Westgate.
Let yourself go to Pizza Hut. Let yourself go, say Super Supreme.
Would you look at that pizza?
There's a super new pizza called Super Supreme.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
It's got 9 super toppings like you'll never see.
Can't believe all the stuff in this pizza. It's super.
Let yourself go, say Super Supreme. Let yourself go to Pizza Hut.
Just about set to begin the second half of action. The Coleman Cougars holding a 28-20 lead. Statistically, Coleman 12 of 26 from the field in the first half, 46%. Colfax only 30%. Coleman perfect from the free throw line, while Colfax just 2 of 4. Rebounds, Coleman showing the advantage there, 20-14, and turnovers, Coleman a few more there, 11-7. As we see Dick Diener of the Colfax Vikings trying to rally his team. They scored 4 straight points to end the second period, and we'll have to see if they can continue that in the third quarter.
It might have been a big lift for them, Ken. They did score the last 4 points, so close to within 8. We'll see if they do go into a zone defense or if they stay man-to-man. Maybe they'll come out pressing a taller Coleman team in for a good second half.
Number 35, Mark Loftus, playing with 3 personal fouls, is back in the game. He is the leading scorer.
You mentioned the vertical jump. Loftus, a super jumper. He got the opening tip and this tip. Good jumper.
Obermiller from outside. He's hit, I think, 3 in a row now. That's right. Statistician Don Kerr concurs with that. And it's a 28-22 Coleman lead as Colfax has now hit 6 straight. As you said at halftime, Chuck, pretty much the story of this tournament has been the team that's been behind at halftime has been able to come from behind. Has a nice move that time by Wondrich.
They need him in that lineup. He's playing now with 3 fouls. The key to the ball game, can Gary stay in there with the 3 fouls?
Obermiller driving. He's got 4 in a row from the field. Steve Obermiller averaging 16.5 points a game is bringing Colfax back into this game. They're down by 6 with 7 minutes remaining, period number 3. Gehring drives and scores. Greg Gehring, seeing a lot of action, didn't start, but he's playing quite a bit, and he now has 4 points. As the pace is picked up now, right at the beginning of the third quarter here, almost a steal by Coleman. This is Fear, he can't get it. There's a foul. Bill Reshlow called personal foul.
Reshlow picks up his second.
Right. Reaching over the back there. Common foul. Colfax will inbound it underneath their own basket. Down by 8. Obermiller going for 6 in a row. 5 5 in a row. Let's not up that too much. 6-point Coleman lead as Colfax continues the full court pressure defense, and there is the turnover.
That might have been the offensive strategy. Coach Dick Diener talked over at halftime. Let's get Obermuller the ball, let them get hot, and they've certainly been successful so far.
Coach Dick Diener credits Obermuller for the recent success that Colfax has had. He's really come on after having a pretty slow start to the year. This is Loftus from way outside, gets his rebound, and we've got a foul committed by Medke as he went crashing into Loftus as he was up in the air. Third personal on Medke, the center for Coleman.
Appeared Medke just lost his footing, Ken, and fell down, did foul. Give Loftus credit, a nice job rebounding a missed shot. Good second effort.
It's a common foul, so Colfax will inbound the ball underneath their own basket. Loftus tries to go up and loses it. Nice play that time by Rushlow. This telecast is authorized under the rights granted by the WIAA. Any descriptions, accounts, or reproductions of this program are prohibited without the express written consent of the WIAA and the Wisconsin TV network. Gehring gets the basket, and it's a 34-26 game now with Coleman up as Spear shoots from the outside, and the pushing off foul on Rushlow.
Rushlow from Coleman goes for the ball. Everybody else really screams out. Rushlow, a nice job with the rebound, but he did shove off. That's his third personal, so we'll see a substitution, Ken, now for Coleman. They've got 2 ball players now with 3 fouls apiece. The key to the ball game, can they stay foul-free right now?
Colfax continues in the man-to-man pressure defense as Rushlow gets free that time and gets the nice basket.
Backdoor play, very common in basketball. They reverse the outside pass, go underneath. Very, very good 2-on-2 basketball. Nothing we don't see in Class C, Ken, we don't see in Class A and B. Good ball players, very, very well coached, both teams.
The great thing about this Class C tournament, Chuck, is it gets the teams a chance to get into the field house and play. As Loftus makes a great move but can't get the shot to fall. Colfax, it's their second trip to the state tournament. The last time they played was 1933, 45 years ago. As we've got the foul right there on Obermuller. Checking into the game now will be Carl Wunderlich for Coleman.
Rushlow drives the baseline, goes with a left hand. Very, very good dribbler with a left hand. Obermuller now with his second personal foul. First on Colfax this half. Tell him, Ken, about the great defense played back then.
Back in 1933, Colfax beat Nakusa in a thrilling game, 12-11. They lost the next day to Chippewa Falls, 26-9. How the game has changed.
Their high score at 4 points.
Miller driving, great move.
Nice job, drives the baseline, goes up strong. Nice individual move.
Statistician Don Kerr has a very interesting fact right there. Mark Loftus, who is the leading scorer for Colfax, is only 1 of 9 from the field. But the Vikings have been lucky in that Obermuller has been hot, as now Coleman having a little trouble against the man-to-man defense. Because they're not going to be in any hurry. 3:55 remaining, period number 3, and they have an 8-point lead. This will be Wunderlich firing from the outside and hitting.
They get adapted now to the conditions down here, the backboard, Ken, the crowd. You can see the second half. They really, really have played good basketball. Both teams, very, very good second half basketball. Coleman back in that zone defense now. Looks like almost a 2-3 from where we're sitting. Good 2-3 zone defense.
Inside to Dobbs. Ooh, off the front of the rib. Rebound nicely by Loftus. And the foul committed by Gehring. Hey, this Loftus can really jump. We said he had a 36-inch vertical leap. And he proved it right there. He can really get above the crowd. The basket will not count, as it was a common foul committed before the act of shooting.
Just like a small David Thompson out there, 36-inch vertical leap.
Six in a row for Steve Overmiller. 38-30. Coleman up by 8. They ought to just let him shoot. Gehring driving. Knocked out of bounds. Coleman ball. And Gehring falls to the ground. I think he was hit with an elbow or something.
Big Greg on the drive, got an elbow in the chin. He seems to be all right, maybe just a little dazed, but pretty strong drive to the backboard.
I think Bill Rushlow will be checking into the game for Coleman. Greg Gehring will sit down. Looks like he just got an elbow in the head or something. He'll probably shake it off. He'll be okay.
Just drive down that lane, you pay the price, huh?
Don't go away. We'll be back with more WIAA basketball after these words from our sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
Real butter. It's a picker off a real butter. On biscuits that are hot, real butter. For breakfast, lunch, or supper, 'cause butter's really something that I like of. Real butter makes it better, better. Real butter. Put the frosting on the cake. Real butter. When something really matters, it's a natural ingredient, for goodness sake.
Hoffman House is a place worth living. Hoffman House is a place worth visiting. What a nice place to unwind. What a good place to dine. Hoffman House is a place altogether enjoyable.
2:58 remaining, period number 3, and Coleman with an 8-point lead. Things really haven't changed that much since the halftime when it was 28-20 in favor of Coleman, but the pace of the game has picked up. So Coleman will aim the ball underneath their own basket. The Cougars won the Wausau West sectional. As we told you before, beat Abbotsford. Wondrish from the corner. Rebound picked up by Wunderlich, and he misses. Rebound fought for, and will have a jump ball.
Coleman doing an excellent job, Ken, on the offensive board that time. 2 missed shots, 2 rebounds, and a jump ball. And they're keeping that ball alive on the board. Very good job.
Wunderlich jumping against Fear, and Fear gets the tap. Vikings bring it into the forecourt. Obermiller, who's on 6 in a row streak here. They ought to just feed it to him. Colfax seems to be moving the ball a little bit quicker this half, Chuck. Again, on the perimeter of that zone. They can't get inside very well. They're trying to work it to Dobbs, the center. This will be Fear from outside, and he hits. But Dobbs of Colfax will be whistled for the foul. The basket will count. And the foul by Dobbs is just his first personal. That's pretty good. He's only 5'11". He's going against guys 3 and 4 inches taller than him, and only his first foul late in the third period.
Good foul. He went after the ball on the second effort, though. He made the shot, but a good foul.
Wondrish breaks the press. Gets it over to Wunderlich inside to Medke, and he scores.
They move the ball very well down the floor. Sometimes it doesn't look like they've got a fast break, really patterned out, but they do a good job passing the ball. Very impressed with the Coleman fast break.
Loftus, great jump to get the rebound again. Oh, great move, Mark Loftus.
Fun to watch him jump. Does a great job for a kid 5'11".
Again, Coleman breaks the press pretty well. Wondrish holds onto the ball and gets it back. Colfax has gone back now into a 2-1-2 zone. This is the thing we thought we'd see them in before. as Headinga fires from outside, and Fear gets the rebound. I think Colfax would do better to stay in that zone defense. 40-34, 6-point Coleman lead. Colfax has been trailing for all the game right from the very start as Miller scores.
Uses that glass. Very, very nice drive, nice shot. Quick move.
Jay Miller. One minute remaining, period number 3. Coleman up by 4 points as stays in the zone. Headinga will shoot. He can't get it to fall, and Colfax is clearing the boards nicely.
Basket here. Ken puts him down 2. Big, big possession here.
Obermiller, 7 in a row. Coleman breaks the press. They're going to have to be a little careful now on offense. They want to take a good shot this time. They'll probably wait for a last shot. There's 18 seconds left, period number 3. If Colfax wants to force it a little bit. 10 seconds now. Rushlow misses everything. Headinga gets the rebound, but he's
3-second violation, so we've got 4 seconds. They get the ball at half court. Underneath, okay, still time for maybe a shot.
Coleman's got to be awake now. The coaches are yelling for them to get up court here. This is Obermiller. He's not going to make that one. His streak is ended, but Colfax is just down by 2. Stay tuned to more exciting WIAA basketball right after these messages. This is your WIAA network station.
They call me Happy Tracks, 'cause I'm walking happy, feeling high and stepping snappy, moving my feet to the beat of a brand new day. What do you say? Hey, I'm making happy tracks, jogging in the sunshine, skating on a skateboard, having a fun time, drinking a Coke, 'cause Coke has life to these thirsty feet of mine. Come along, 'cause Coke has life, and everybody wants the life.
The old wheels, of course, were foot pedaled, or orient, they use a stick to curl it. But first thing you do is stick it to the wheel, center it, and then you have to mix the clay again, some more, to check it again for air bubbles, hard lumps, and for foreign materials, until the clay feels as though it's right for throwing.
We've got ourselves a ball game. 8 minutes to go. Colfax is down just 40-38, just by 2 points. That's the closest they've been in a while. Colfax in that period out-rebounded a Coleman team 9-3 as Spear drives. He's got a chance to tie it up. He misses it, and Obermiller gets the rebound. Tie ball game, brand new. As the Colfax fans really celebrate here on the north side of the field house. Headinga comes right back for Coleman, and it's a 42-40 game. I get the feeling this one's going to be back and forth the whole period now, Chuck. Obermiller almost traveled. This is Spear to Loftus. He drives. Great move. 6 points for Loftus now. Tie game with 7:04 remaining, period number 3. Headinga to Rushlow. He's fouled.
Be an offensive foul, Ken. Offensive foul on Bill Rushlow. It's his 4th personal foul, so we'll have a quick sub for Bill.
Coming in for Coleman is number 20, Ron Beatty, a 6'1 senior. And coming out is Carl Wunderlich, because I think Coach Mark Tate wants to rest some of his starters down the stretch here.
Had a bonus situation now. It was an offensive foul. I don't exactly know why the bonus situation. I may be wrong, but I think in an offensive foul, wasn't an offensive foul. Okay, must have been a foul over the back. Okay, so it was a bonus situation. Good call, my mistake.
Loftus at the line with a 1-1 makes it.
They've got the lead, Ken. First time Colfax has probably led since the very, very early stages of the first quarter. It is the first time.
They never had the lead until now. Second free throw rolls in. 44-42. Colfax with the lead with 6:50 remaining. As Loftus commits foul number 4.
Always a tough situation for a coach to put his #1 player on that point in the press. He picks up a lot of quick fouls that way, and now he's got 4.
He's going to have to be very careful. He's been playing well offensively in the last 8 minutes. From outside, Wondrich. Rebound picked up by Obermiller. 2-on-1 break for Coleman, or Colfax rather. Obermiller. 3-second violation. They took too long to get the play going, Chuck.
Pitcher was right there. Good call by the official. They had a 3-on-1 break. I think maybe one pass too many, Ken. Good call. I like the job these officials are doing. They seem to be letting the players play ball and not worry about the little picky fouls, and I think the teams realize that and they appreciate it. Good job by the officials.
That's going to be a charging foul on number 20, Ron Beatty.
You can almost see the Coleman player in his eyes. He wanted to go for the basket. It was a good drive. Ron Beatty, offensive foul. Good job by Loftus. He's got 4 fouls, and he stood his ground, picked up the offensive foul.
But he was moved on the zone, Chuck, from out here at the point to back here to prevent that 5th personal foul. Nice move by Coach Dick Diener of Colfax. Don't go away. We'll be back with more WIAA basketball after these words from our sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
You'll like the difference at Ericsson's TV in Putnam. Like a full 1-year labor, Sony television sets at no extra cost. And differences like an extended 5-year picture tube warranty. Also at no extra cost. So buy now for the best television ever with a Sony. Get these extended warranties on any color television purchased during March. Only at Ericsson's TV on Walker Avenue in Putnam Heights. You'll like the difference.
The employees of Fleetfoot want to show you how to stay a step ahead of the rest. Run with New Balance, E-Tonic, or Brooks. Take advantage in tennis shoes by Wilson Bata or Hardcourt by Puma. Dexter will put you in the swing, and Spot Built or Puma will keep you right on base. Fleetfoot, the sports authority, only in London Square Mall, Eau Claire.
There you score, and we're going to have a very close and exciting game in a Class C contest.
They've got 2 points right now. They could go up 4, and according to Coach Dick Diener, he may go into a slow-down situation. He says, you never know. We got a good ball club, and give us a lead, we may slow it down. So you may see, although there's 6 minutes to go, you may see Colfax get cute. It's going to be interesting to see what teams do in this close strategy.
Loftus converts on both free throws. He's a 78% shooter from the line, and it's a 4-point Colfax lead as they continue with the full court press. Wondrich does a good job of bringing it into the forecourt, and now with 6:08 remaining, Coleman has to crank it up. Hettinga. Greg Gehring whistled for the foul. That's his 2nd personal, but it sends Loftus to the line again. And he's made the last 4 free throws. In fact, he's made the last 4 points for Colfax. Now he's got a chance to put them up by 6.
They've taken this lead, as you mentioned, Ken, all on free throws. And again, it's so important. We say yesterday, free throws are going to win ball games for you when the going gets tough. He's made 5 in a row.
Loftus is the one who made a winning shot with just seconds to go in a sectional semifinal game against Prairie Farm as he misses that second one. Made a corner shot, a 17-footer, to allow Colfax to beat Prairie Farm 71-70. So he is familiar with the pressure. Wondrich from outside. He hits. 47-44. Wondrich doing a great job for the Cougars. He's got 17 points.
Good defensive play right there, Ken. You see the offensive foul on the press. He forced the foul. Good job, good call. I like that.
Third personal foul on Obermiller. And Coleman now has a chance to get it down to 1 point with a basket here. 5:37 remaining, period number 4, as Wondrich fires. Rebound fought for, goes out of bounds, and Cougars will get the ball.
You see Coleman going to the board very strong right now. They want to get that ball and get it back up there. Bucket here brings them to within 1.
They'll set up the stack in the lane. Comes out to Rushlow. He fires. Great move by Medke, and it's
nice
a 1-point ball game.
Right, exactly. Very, very nice offensive job by John Medke.
Now Coleman goes into the full court press. Here. Chuck, both these teams were really shaky in the first half, but they've both risen to the occasion, and we have ourselves a very good ball game right now. Colfax with a 3-point lead with 5 minutes left. Hedinga.
Good ball player. I like the way he shoots the ball. He likes to get it right away and put it up. He's very confident. I like that very much.
Got a good follow-through, too, as Wondrich will be called for the personal foul. He doesn't like the call. That is his third personal. Check that, 4th. So he's going to have to be very careful. Wondrich has been the big man scoring for Coleman. He has 17 points, so he's a person that they can't afford to lose, just as Loftus is a player that Colfax cannot afford to lose.
You know, what do we say at halftime? The team that's behind, good psychological advantage, because the teams that were behind yesterday all came back and did well, and here we see Colfax down at halftime, 28-20, comes back, and now they've got a 2-point lead.
Make it 3, 51-48, 4:40 left, period number 4, as the Vikings continue with the press. But Wondrich breaks it individually. Let's see what he does. Gets it into Hedinga. Nice pass.
Again, he stops at the free throw circle. Nice pass. Very, very well-schooled ball player.
Deer drives, gets it over to Dobbs, but he's called for the travel just as he dished off the pass.
Well, the Colfax had pressed before and done well. Now it's the Coleman press that's got Colfax turns the ball over.
Interesting the way both coaches use the press to develop some kind of momentum, change the pace of the game for their team. It's not just a defensive strategy. Rushlow. Medke called for the personal foul, and now he has 4. Let's see who that will send to the line for Colfax. They hold a 1-point lead, 51-50 with 4:01 left. Dobbs, Greg Dobbs, a 5'11 senior. At 5'11, he's the center. 70% free throw shooter. Misses it. Boy, these free throws really become critical down the stretch. Hedinga from way outside.
I like that kid. Boy, he puts it up there with confidence. I like that guy.
He can be a real streaky shooter, and he's proved it already.
This is the time to get the hot streak.
You bet. Coleman is shot into the lead now. They've got it by 1 point with 3:27 remaining. Fear from the left side. Loftus goes way up and gets the basket.
He gets the change with his physical ability. The way he can jump, it's 2 points.
He's got to be careful. He's playing with 4 personal fouls. There goes one out of bounds. Bad pass that time by Rushlow. 14th turnover committed by Coleman, and Colfax now can go up by 3 points with a basket here. 2 very good teams, rather unknown teams coming into the field house, battling for a right to get into the Class C championship game against Partyville.
on numerous occasions. He likes to drive the middle. Good job.
3-point Colfax lead as they continue with the press. Miller now has 12 points as Wondrus brings it into the forecourt for the Cougars. 2:26 remaining. Hettinga again. 4 in a row for Brian Hettinga, averaging 8.7 points. He's probably hit that right here in the fourth period. He's got 14 in the game. It's a 1-point Colfax lead with 2:09 remaining, fourth period. And I'm getting a little excited here, Chuck. Both teams shooting very well here in the fourth period.
Well, you no longer got that out. I'll tell you, they proved why they're slow first half, but they've more than made up for it.
We've got a kick as Dobbs is down on the floor. I think he may have hurt an ankle or a leg. Dr. Russell from Fort Atkinson will come out and take a look at him, as we'll see the play right here. Dobbs just got the, looks like the ball, he got it on his shin there.
See him go down.
Yeah.
See him go down. I think he'll be all right. He was either kicked or maybe a cramp, but no matter what he did, he took a basket away. Good defensive play, whatever he did. It'll be Coleman's ball out of bounds right now. They need a bucket. They trail by 3.
He's going to come out. I think he's in quite a bit of pain right now. Let's see who they're going to send in. Colfax has only substituted one player so far, and that was Mike Keycaper. I'd imagine he'd be coming into the game. That will be Keycaper checking in. Pressure situation for a sophomore.
You think Coleman's going to look for Hettinga again on the right side?
He's hot. He's been firing from way outside. Of course, we've had some good shooting by both teams down the stretch here. 1:51 remaining. 57-54. Colfax with a 3-point lead. This is a big possession by Coleman. If they don't get a basket here, Colfax might sit on it for a while. Gehring. Coleman with a tough full-court press as Loftus brings it into the forecourt, and Colfax with a 1-point lead now and 1:30 remaining on the clock. There's a foul. Bad foul that time, Chuck.
He reaches for the ball, had to go for the ball. You never know in a situation like this. A missed free throw gives Coleman the ball back, so Greg Gehring picks up his 4th. And although we've got quite a few players now with 4 fouls, Ken, they got to play their game. They got to play their game. They want a timeout.
Coach Mark Tate was really yelling. The players weren't looking. Obviously a very excited situation. We've said that the teams are shooting well here down the stretch. It's true. Colfax is 6 of 8 in this quarter, and Coleman is 8 of 15, so both over 50%. Coleman getting more shots, and they're also getting more rebounds. That's the difference right there, Chuck.
Might have been a timeout called. You see in your screen behind the cheerleaders, the Coleman team around Mark Tate. The obvious we see so many times, the timeout before the crucial free throw. Wants to make that man think about the free throw. Still a minute 25 to go. We've seen a lot of things happen lately in 5, 6, 7 seconds. So a minute and a half is more than enough time for both teams to score several baskets. I think if Colfax makes these 2 free throws, they're in pretty good shape, 3-point lead. If they miss and Coleman gets the ball, I think they'll come right down, go right to their pattern, get it to a good shooter, and put it up. I don't think any team is going to really try to employ a lot of strategy right now until we get maybe to 30 seconds to go.
They both have momentum from the field. Why should they slow it down and lose what edge they might possibly have?
Exactly.
Loftus has really come on for Colfax as Bob Fear goes to the free throw line. He's got 9 points this quarter and 13 for the game, and that was after getting just 2, I believe, in the first half. Big free throw by Bob Fear. And Coleman will call another timeout as Fear gets his 12th point. Maybe we can check on the timeouts to see how many both teams have left. So how does that change it, Chuck?
Well, you see Dick Diener on the screen. He's telling his kids now we make this 1 free throw. They're almost optimistic. He says after this kid makes the free throw, we'll probably put the press on. If we can get the ball back with a 3-point lead, then they may go out and sit on it. They're a good free throw shooting club, very good free throw shooting club. And they've got the momentum right now, but don't count Coleman out.
Both teams have plenty of timeouts left. Coleman has 2, and Colfax has 3, so we could be here for a while, still with 1:25 remaining, and Coleman down by 2 points. Bob Beer will be at the free throw line for the second free throw. He's an all-conference honorable mention as a football player. And also all-conference honorable mention in basketball in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference, which Colfax won this year with a 15-1 record. Colfax shooting well at the free throw line down the stretch here. 10 this quarter. Here will try to make it 9 of 11. All right, you explain that one to me. Coleman has just called another timeout.
They've got one more left. They want this guy to think about it, not for 1 minute, but for 2 minutes. You know, it works sometimes, it doesn't. I think good free throw shooters, when they miss, they just miss. I don't think they choke. They just missed a free throw. When they make it, they make it. This has, I think, more of a psychological effect than it does anything else. A good free throw shooter goes out there and pops it back in. They're up 2 points right now. It's not like as if this missed free throw may make a difference. A 2-point lead means 1 basket. It's a tie. This is a big free throw in one respect. The fact that if he does make it, that means Coleman's got to score 2 baskets to win. 1 basket won't do it. So 2 baskets may not seem like a lot, but when you're down 2 buckets with a minute and a half, you know, that's a lot of baskets to tie. Big free throw regardless. And again, I don't think if he misses, he won't choke. Free throw misses. You know, if you're short, you're short. I think he'll put it in.
Rather ironic that Fear is at the free throw line. He's generally considered the team clown, the loosest guy on the court. Imagine he's got to be feeling the pressure right now. But still, as you said, Chuck, there's still a minute 25 left, so.
I'll tell you one thing, if Coleman calls another timeout, they may be in the record books for most timeouts, you know, consecutive timeouts. They've called, what, 2 right now?
They've only got 1 left. Colfax has 3. Here's Fear again, trying to put Colfax up by 3.
Good free throw shooter. That good free throw shooter. I like that.
So Coleman is down by 3 now with 1:21 remaining. They can still work for the good shot, but they can't take too much off the clock.
Colfax now, I think, in a man-to-man defense. Man-to-man defense.
Nice pass that time. Inside to Gehring. He tries to go up but loses the ball. I think Rushlow should have gone up with a shot that time. Nice steal by Wondrich. He shoots from 15. It's short. Rebound fought for. Out of bounds. It will be Colfax ball.
A lot of action, a lot of time left on the clock.
55 seconds remaining. I think Coleman would like it if they had a timeout right now. They're signaling no basket, but I don't think the ball ever went in the hoop.
No, they'll take the ball out of bounds. They're up 3 points, 55 seconds to go.
They got to foul him, probably. Otherwise, Colfax will run some time off the clock. They're up by 3 with 50 seconds. They'll just go into a stall game now. They got to foul him. They want to foul somebody maybe who hasn't been at the line. That's going to be over and back.
Apparently, Wondrich touched the ball. They won't call it.
Okay. I didn't see it. Colfax calls the timeout. Good call by the officials. I didn't see him deflect the ball. The ruling on that is what now?
Wondrich deflected the ball, so if it hits the defensive man, goes back in the backcourt. It's not over and back. The officials right there, like they have been the entire ball game. Good call. Dick Diener right now, 32 seconds. You see on the clock. Dick Diener, going to be a long 32 seconds for him. But he's telling his kids, get it to a good free throw shooter. I'm sure they're all good free throw shooters. Obviously, some are better than others. He says, if we're gonna stall, get it to a good free throw shooter. So if he gets fouled, we're in good shape. The way they've been shooting free throws, Ken, all 5 to put it in.
I'm surprised Coleman didn't commit a foul earlier to get him to the free throw line, although Colfax has been making them. Very interesting, that Prairie Farm game, that sectional semifinal I was talking about before, where Loftus made the winning shot. They missed 5 bonus tries in a row. And they had like a 6-point lead, and Prairie Farm came from behind to take the lead. A But they're making them here in the state tournament where it counts. Obermiller brings it into the forecourt. There's going to have to be a foul. Can't be an intentional one, as Obermiller will dribble some time off the clock. Hettinga will be called for the foul.
That sends Jay Miller up to the line. I don't think Jay's been on the line recently. First attempts all day long, so that may have been one of the, out of 5 to foul, may have been the best to foul.
He is the only junior starter. The others are seniors. This one could really ice it for Colfax. He misses it, though. Rebound to Loftus. Big rebound.
Oh, it certainly was.
Hettinga hits Loftus on the arm. Great rebound by Loftus as he went way up in the air to pull down that board. As we're going to have a timeout right now by Colfax. And a little look of disappointment on the face of the Coleman Cougars.
Key rebound. One of Mark's bigger rebounds. Dick Diener looks at the clock, 18 seconds now. Big rebound for Loftus. And again, Colfax with a chance to go to the free throw line and win this ball game. 18 seconds, Dick Diener. Very impressed with this man's coaching abilities. He's brought Colfax a long way. Colfax now, Ken, is 18 seconds away from being in tomorrow's finals against a good Partyville team. Should be a good matchup.
Still not over yet, though. If Loftus misses it, Coleman will bring it down court, probably try to get a shot off in a real hurry and then try to commit the foul right away. Two great teams really going at it in the field house here, and you really didn't expect this after a very slow start to the game. So Mark Loftus can really ice this game with at least one free throw here. It'd put him up by 4, and that would just about do it. 2, and the game is over. It's a 1-and-1 situation. Mark Loftus. That's how you win ball games.
Really is. Nice arch, nothing but that net. Again, good free throw shooters are consistent, and this guy can do it all. Very impressed with Mark Loftus.
Going for point number 15, and that is the game. They're up by 5 with 18 to go, 61 to 56. How much Coleman can do now? They'll be smart. Colfax is not to foul. Hettinga gets the roll. It's a 3-point game with 9 seconds to go. They got to foul him right away. And Medke commits the foul on Fear. But there's 3 seconds left, and that's going to send Medke out of the game.
It'll also be a 2-shot intentional foul. You get a chance to see, goes after him right there, grabs the jersey. Intentional foul. John Medke fouls out with 5. Played a whale of a ball game. John's got nothing to be ashamed about. Played a very, very fine ball game.
Hey, this Coleman team has nothing to be ashamed of. They've come a long way. And again, like Coach Mark Tate says, you got to credit the players. They've done it themselves. A strong senior group. Top 8 players are all seniors.
I like their attitude, Ken. You know, we talked to the coach. What are some of the kids' hobbies? Well, they hunt, they fish, some trap. They're really a team on and off the floor, and you can tell in the way they play. I really like this team.
That's the way it is in tournaments, though. One has to lose. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Colfax will just watch it go off. And there it is. Final score. Colfax 62, Coleman 58. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more right after these messages. This is your WIAA network station.
The people you know, the town where you live, you're part of it all. You've got something to give, and you're doing more than you know.
When you save at a full-service bank, you earn interest for yourself. You also make money available for loans to people, to businesses, and to provide the services your community needs. You can do all this only at your full-service bank.
You and your bank are doing more than you know.
The local newspaper. Every week, people depend on men like Henry Schrader to bring them neighborhood and business news, reports on school activities, local bargains, farming conditions, and the good life. Like many in Verona, Henry Schrader trusts his good life to the rural companies. When you need to protect your good life, call a rural agent.
Special man with the rural companies. The things we do are for
62-58 winner over Coleman in today's first ball game, a Class C semifinal game. Colfax will now go against Partyville in tomorrow's Class C final. Interesting game this afternoon, two halves really. Coleman led after the first quarter 10-4. They came back and were ahead 28-20 at halftime. They still led by two after three quarters, 40-38. But Colfax came back a super fourth quarter. They pulled the game out to win by 4. Final score, Colfax 62, Coleman 58. Some individual statistics on the ball game. Obermuller led Colfax 18 points, while Hedinga and Wenderash had 17 and 16 respectively for Coleman. A great ball game. Again, the final, Colfax 62, Coleman 58. We'll go now with Ken Syke and the winning coach from Colfax, Dick Diener.
We'll look right in that light or what? Talk to me.
Okay.
Don't even look at the camera. I'm here with the winning coach, Dick Diener of Colfax. Dick, your team really turned it around in the second half. What'd you tell them at halftime?
Well, I simply told them to relax and go out and play the kind of ball that we've been playing all year long that's got us here. Our kids were very tight, making very poor passes, and we're a completely different outfit in the second half.
It seemed like the zone defense really helped keep Coleman outside in the fourth quarter.
Yes, it did. We switched off throughout the ball game, and it worked quite well for us.
The man who had 3 personal fouls and sat out much of the first half, Mark Loftus, came back, and he was the man who made the free throws down the stretch.
He's a clutch performer. He's by far our leader on our team, and he's the guy that's probably done more for our outfit than any others. He's a super competitor.
Nothing to be ashamed of as far as Coleman is concerned. They played a super game, too.
No, they played excellent, and we were very lucky and very fortunate to get out of here with a victory.
Okay, you'll be playing tomorrow against Partyville. We wish you best of luck in that game. Congratulations, Dick.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's go back now to Mark Shapiro at WIAA Sports Center.
Thank you very much, Ken. Again, the final score, Class C semifinal, Colfax 62, Coleman 50. You know, for the third time in the tournament so far, a team that trailed at halftime came back to win the ball game. It happened twice in Class A competition yesterday. All right, we're going to be coming along with more in-between game entertainment. More features coming your way right after we pause for these messages on your WIAA network station.
At Yamaha, we don't just hit a little test track out behind. We also test our engineering ideas wherever they race motorcycles. From Carlsbad to Watkins Glen. From Daytona to Le Mans. In fact, Yamaha is the winningest racer in the world. And every time we race, we learn more about how to build you a better motorcycle.
Eau Claire Cycle Shop on Heimstead Road.
People serves you right. People serves you right.
People's State Bank of Colfax serves you right. People's helps you save for vacations, buying a home, for just about anything. People's regular passbook savings account pays you 5% interest, and that will serve you right. And People's now hails area farmers during the Wax Radio Farm Salute. People's State Bank of Colfax, member FDIC.
Completed for today. The winner, Colfax, they'll take on Partyville tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock for the Class C championship. The second game of the day will be a Class B semifinal. This will be the first time that we'll have a look at the Class B participants in this year's tournament. The first game, Elkhorn 17-6, Wisconsin Dells 16-7. My colleague Randy Allen has a guest down on the field house floor right now. Let's take a look and hear what he has to say.
I was looking around for one of the top fans to talk to today, and I couldn't help but recognize the face of Tom Weinkauf at the field house, who coached a team or several teams to really an incredible achievement, winning the last 3 state Class C championships. The year before that, also in the field. It's been 5 years since you watched the Class C field from any place besides the coaching bench. What are your thoughts on coming down here and watching as a fan now?
Well, it's a whole different thing. The state tournament itself is always enjoyable. Of course, as a coach, you just love to be here and have a team here, and it's quite a thrill to have a team down here. But it's different, but it's still always enjoyable. I enjoy watching all the games, and the Class C games today and yesterday both were excellent games, and it's a good tournament.
You know, you probably had a chance to see that Coleman club that beat a fine Abbotsford game in the Wausau West sectional. Now come down here and championship game?
Well, that's going to be an interesting matchup. Of course, you know, Partyville is very big, and they do have Jacobson. Now, Colfax is a very fast team, a good shooting team. It's going to be a classic match. If Colfax shoots well, they'll give them a lot of trouble. But if they don't, I think Partyville is going to board too well, or they're too big, and they won't be able to stop them on the boards, and that could be the key to the game there.
What are your thoughts on a couple other ball games? We've got Beloit Memorial coming up tonight against Wisconsin Rapids. I think that Nina Homestead game last night was one of the real fine ones in the last several years.
Well, the Nina game was an excellent game. As far as a fan, it was just lovely to sit there. I'm sure the coaches didn't feel the same way, but it was superbly played. The Beloit Wisconsin Rapids game today, I think it's going to be a classic. Beloit's got a high-powered offense. Rapids has an excellent defense, so it's going to be a good ball game.
Tom Weinkoff, the Marathon basketball coach that won the last 3 seed championships, and now he'll watch and see who wins it this year.
And thank you very much, Randy Allen, for your interview with Tom Weinkoff, and I sympathize with you. I was there yesterday with that band playing in your back pocket. Good interview, and thanks for those words. We're going to be back in just a moment, right after we pause for these messages on your WIAA network station.
We at Z-Bart Auto Truck Rental would like to suggest to you, your car's